personal trainers, you're going to be motivated by the professional tips and suggestions that today's guest, Carl Smith, shares this week on the Fitness Business Podcast. If you haven't listened to episode number 343, Marketing Your Fitness Business with Nick Parker, then you should have a serious case of FOMO. Almost 2,000 of our listeners have downloaded, listened to, and have implemented a new marketing strategy to their business. It's one of our most trending episodes because podcast guest Nick Parker knows how to deliver an epic episode. Yes, that is episode 343, Marketing Your Fitness Business with owner of Lead Lion, Nick Parker. Check it out. Hi, I'm your host, Dory Nugent, and today our guest, Carl Smith, will share his knowledge on becoming unique and separating yourself from the competition as a personal trainer. Carl is the owner of Concepts Fitness Consultancy, and he teaches and preaches how to differentiate yourself in the industry. We will hear from Carl Smith in less than 2 minutes. First, a huge thank you to Discover Strength for supporting our show.
At Discover Strength Franchising, we know you want to own a thriving fitness business. We believe you should be able to do work that you are passionate about while also making a great living. Imagine owning a distinguished fitness business backed by a market-tested business model where efficient 30-minute strength workouts are provided to your clients by expert, educated personal trainers. Here's how to get started. Head to discoverstrengthfranchise.com and fill out the contact form. Set up a pre-qualification call with our franchise team. Join us for a mutual discovery day. So head to discoverstrengthfranchise.com so you can start falling in love with your work again.
Thank you, Discover Strength. And if you are looking to start a franchise, make sure you check out www.discoverstrengthfranchise.com.
Get your pen ready now for Keep Me's Fit Bizpiration.
What are your top 3 tips to having a unique personal training style to everyone else?
Okay, I use the EVER principle, and if you haven't heard of it, it's because I made it up 20 minutes ago. But it kind of makes sense to me. I think about experience, how I'm going to deliver the very best experience for my client. I think about giving them a huge amount of value. I want to make sure that my product evolves throughout their journey with me. So I'm going to make sure that it's slightly different each time, but maybe on the same theme, but that could be adding tech into the program at a later stage. It could be just building in progression, but evolution is important. And then results. And how many of us, again, build our product on expecting our clients to attend 100% of our sessions. So in terms of something that might be worth considering is build your program with the expectation that your clients will only ever attend 60% of your sessions. And if you can promise me as a client that I'm going to achieve my goals by adhering to your system only 60% of the time, then 100% you're going to get more referrals, you're going to get more testimonials, and you're going to get more wins, and effectively you're going to get more clients.
Next week, I interview attorney Corey Sterling, and his topic is Legal Essentials for Fitness Owners and Managers. Corey shares some important information that will provide you a checklist to make sure your business is up to date on legal protocol. You certainly won't want to miss this one for sure. Now, after this week's interview, I'll introduce you to Corey, and you'll hear why you need to set a calendar reminder for his episode.
OneFitStop is modern fitness studio software built for the growing multi-location studio, providing scheduling, client management, programming, payment collection tools, and more that will set your business up to grow. To find out more, go to onefitstop.com or click on the link in today's show notes.
Let's transition into this week's interview with Carl Smith. Carl Smith, welcome. It's a great pleasure to have you on the show today. You wear a lot of hats. You are the owner and business coach for Concepts Fitness Consulting. Today, we're going to talk about, you said it earlier last week. I loved how you said, hey, the PT landscape is changing and that the pandemic has absolutely changed a lot of aspects about the fitness industry. And today, we're going to just talk about how to differentiate your personal training business from others. So I'm going to start with the first question that I'd like to ask you, and that is the first place that you can separate yourself is on the gym floor, right? What tips do you offer to walk the floor with intent and purpose?
Okay, so I can take a breath because I think I've got a few things here. So firstly, I think I would start this exercise by working out who it is that I wanted to help. So we've all been into this before, potentially, where we almost consider ourselves a jack of all trades and want to help as many people as possible. And ultimately, that is a business model. But eventually, what you end up with is a whole bunch of different clients with a whole bunch of different goals. And you end up spending a lot more time researching, developing, programming for all this wide variety of people that you found yourself with. So if you had a chance to either do it all over again or you're just starting out, my best advice is to start with almost creating yourself an avatar of the ideal person for you. And then it's a case of creating something that they would be interested in, and then you take that to the gym floor with you. So, for example, if you understand who it is that you want to help, you'll almost understand what will resonate with them in terms of offering. So, for example, free fitness testing might resonate with some of your clients or prospects. Sorry, a free 10-minute pad work session might work well for you. I think that for me, a 10-minute pad work session is a great way to showcase your talents. It's a great way to demonstrate personal training, and ultimately, you need me the next time you want to do it. So it almost creates a bit of dependency in terms of PT. So what about a free nutrition dive-in? So we don't have to be a qualified nutritionist to give an overview of somebody's week, where you've asked them to track their week, for example, and it's just an opportunity for you to sit down with somebody. Well, a free class, a free 10-day trial at your boot camp, and if you're not running a boot camp, then 100%, I think it's something you should look at, because it's a real value add, and it allows you to offer a low barrier to entry product that might get a few more people involved in your product, so that you can effectively earn trust before you get to that stage where they do become a client. For that free ebook, how long does it really take for you to sit down for 2 weeks, play with Canva, have a bit of fun with creating yourself a book on a topic of your choice, something that you're really passionate about, that then you can go to the gym floor and almost trade that ebook for an email, or trade that certainly for a conversation. I know when I was a PT in a commercial gym, I also, and I don't know if this is allowed depending on where your listeners are working, but I used to offer to do the breaks for my reception team, my front of house team. So it would give me an opportunity to stand at front desk and greet people. I used to offer to sell protein for my front desk team, because they were incentivized on selling protein, and that was part of what I knew about. So if I did a seminar, a free seminar at the time, that eventually turned into a paid seminar, to be fair, but that was an opportunity for me to help sell protein. And if I sold protein for Elaine, she would 100% talk about me all day to every single person that came through the door. So I think there's real value in creating relationships with other team members. I had a trainer who literally for the first month just opened the door for people. Would literally stand at the front door and welcome people. And eventually people knew that was Gary on the door. And we knew he was a personal trainer, and he didn't have to do any hard sell. He was just saying hello. Eventually people would come to Gary because he had a personal trainer title on the back of his t-shirt. It was pretty clear, and that really worked. Cleaning the equipment is another one that some of us shy away from it. For me, I used to spend probably an hour where I would take every dumbbell off the rack, get my little squirty gun, and I would clean the entire rack, put them all back in order. And by doing that, it gave me a reason to stand on the gym floor, a purpose and belonging, if you will, so that people would approach me. Again, all these tips that I'm sort of trying to impart today are to help you have easier conversations, because there's nothing worse than being told by your manager, get out there and walk the floor. And you're like, oh, okay. And you end up doing this massive circle, talking yourself out of speaking to anybody. Oh, they've got the headphones on. They must be busy. Oh, no, she's reading a book. She doesn't want to interrupt it. And you just talk yourself out of having a conversation. So these things give you hopefully a purpose to have that kind of conversation. We all talk about exercise correction, which is okay, but it's kind of uncomfortable to go and tell somebody that they're doing something wrong. What about giving somebody a compliment instead? And finding somebody doing something right that you could praise them for, which might actually have a nicer effect in the end, which again give you a reason to speak to somebody the next time you see them. And content, we're in 2021, and I don't think you can get away with running a personal training business now without a social media presence. So what about creating content from the experiences that you have in the gym on a daily basis? So, if you're having a conversation with somebody that has a particular challenge, then go away and write a post on that. And then if you're cunning enough, make sure that it lands on whatever platform that they're on. Not tagging them and calling them out, but literally it's almost a subliminal message that you've just created a bit of content specifically for a conversation you had with somebody. Would that get that person to come and find you in the gym and go, do you know what? That bit of content you wrote was brilliant. So I'm going to take a breath now, but hopefully some of those were useful.
So what I love was the two main things that I pulled out of that was, one, just get the conversation started. And I like the fact that you're cleaning. I mean, it is an easy way to start a conversation. Everybody appreciates the person cleaning the weights.
Okay.
Yeah, they do, so I love that. And then I also just really liked how you gave multiple examples of adding value. I love that. And they were simple things, and they were things that really didn't even cost the trainer any money. The free class, the free ebook, the free health screening, things like that. I love the fact that you really are just pushing adding value to being a personal trainer. Very nice. So let's talk about services. Our service offering can be different. It's face-to-face, it's group training, it's hybrid, even indoor, outdoor. But what should we base our service on?
I think it's a balance between what you enjoy and what will net you the best reward. So, a lot of us as personal trainers do a personal training qualification, which effectively gives you a qualification to deliver one-to-one training. Now, one-to-one training might be a thing. However, if you look at that as a business model and trading time for money, you are going to reach a cap on your earnings when you run out of time to deliver sessions. So as a business model, that might work for you. And if it does, then great. If, however, you want to help more people, then I think it's worth looking at the group training models. It's worth looking at a boot camp and potentially running multiple cohorts. Do you want to scale your business up eventually, where you effectively create a boot camp product and eventually become a head coach with coaches underneath you? If that's something that you're interested in, then absolutely, that's a model for you to look at. But I think with all that's happened over the last, I want to say, few months now, with the emergence, I suppose, of a digital offering and the new terminology of hybrid, I think it would be daft not to look at tech as part of your product offering, because it's come a long way. It's been pushed forward very quickly, and maybe over the last few months we've only had digital. So actually, a hybrid model right now is probably more suited to a lot of people who are probably itching to get out, but also want to maintain the benefits that they've been getting used to. So I think in balance, it's about finding the right approach that suits you.
Yeah, definitely what suits you. And it is completely different from person to person to person. And I think that's something that the pandemic has really brought to light. So talking personal training, there's no way we can avoid not talking about sales and the fact that personal training equals a fee-based service. So I'd love to hear what you have to say about the pricing model and how we can even present the price and how that can set us apart. And I'm also looking for suggestions on price and for asking for the sale.
It's a big one, isn't it? I think if I can start with the price presentation piece, because what I advise my clients to do now is build a website. And it would be, if I think back to when I was sort of first thought about building a website, it was going to cost you money. But now, and I won't name companies, but there are lots of different companies out there that are offering a free website service that you can create, a nice presentation effectively that you can direct traffic to, that you can almost warm people up to who you are, what your service is all about before you even get to sort of the price presentation piece. But then when it's on a website, it's also really transparent. And, I think it's over the last sort of 10, 15 years, I think personal training has become more transparent in terms of its pricing structure, because a lot of the times, or previously, you wouldn't talk pricing. You'd want to get somebody sat down and then you sort of hit them with the price at the end after you've done all this time to drum up enthusiasm and excitement. I think that's a very sort of antiquated way now of making the sale. So, be upfront, be confident with your pricing, whatever you choose. And then we'll go back to value again. I think, if you create yourself a really strong product, a really strong offering, then in terms of what you charge for it, there's a number of different ways to come to that, I suppose. You could take the big figure and say, look, I want to earn £10,000 a month, so I'm going to divide that by the amount of people that I need to service to give me my yield, or the other way around. Or you could, I tell you what, I personally would look at what business model allows me to work at 50% capacity and make the money that I want to earn. Because I think a lot of us work our numbers out and then we end up with a number that says that if I am going to earn this particular income, then I need to work this particular amount of hours. And what we've done, we've set our 100% capacity. So actually, we're only ever happy when we're full and too busy to enjoy being happy. So if you can model your business out that you're at your full income level at 50% of your capacity, then I think you'll have a much happier time of things. So I think, in answer to your initial question, I think the price presentation piece, it's professionalise what you do. Gone are the days of writing something on a card for somebody to take away and have to think about it. Build yourself a nice website. It doesn't have to cost you any money at all. And then rehearse yourself a script. And this is something I do with my clients a lot, is that when we first start out, we almost learn as we go. And if you're only ever getting to the point where you can pitch your prices to, 1 in 10 people, and and what that works out for you is that you're actually only pitching your prices once a week, then you're never really going to get that good at it. So create yourself a script and rehearse it, and then video yourself delivering that, and rehearse it, and then take what you learn from your video and what you like and what you don't like, and adapt it, and eventually you create these pathways in your brain that you can almost pitch with your eyes shut. You then sound confident in your delivery. You know what you're saying. And the benefit of that is that when you are pitching your price, you can almost step away a little bit from you doing the price presentation and analyze the situation, which then allows you to get really, really good at presenting your price, because you'll be able to adapt your pitch when it's needed to the situation, which will 100% help you get more clients.
Carl, for all of our FBP family out there listening that are personal trainers, right? So they're listening and they're like, okay, I'm going to rehearse my script, right? I'm going to be confident. And now I want to be unique. I want to be different. I want to set myself apart. I'm going to take some of these tips that you have just offered, and I'm going to start to implement this into my daily life. How now, if they are unique and they have a unique style, what is the best way for them to tell the market without degrading the competition?
Well, look, firstly, you never need to degrade the competition. We're all here to do the same thing. We're all here, hopefully, because we want to help people and we like helping people. So, and there are enough people that need our help. So I think the best advice I could give here is to really start to spend that time thinking about who it is that you want to help, and almost build a profile of that individual. I guess the terminology that we're talking about now is being super or hyper niche. So really understanding the individual that it is that you want to help, because ultimately what you're wanting from this exercise is that your marketing resonates with your avatar, your ideal client. So if you can understand your ideal client, then effectively you can build the narrative so that is that all your marketing, all your messaging lands with that person. So speak to the person you want to help. And have a genuine. So if all your messaging speaks to that individual, there will be a whole bunch of other people that will jump on board as well. But I 100% guarantee you that if you speak to an individual, eventually that individual wakes up and goes, oh, yeah, okay, it's me, I'm here. So I think that the best advice is find out and spend some time working on who you want to help, and then just create a whole brand around that one person, which might sound really crazy, but I promise you it's not.
What a pleasure to have you on the show today, Carl. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I know you're in London.
Close enough.
Right?
About 4.5 hours away, but close. I know in the grand scheme of things, England is very small. So pretty much.
Okay, so where are you exactly from then? What's the name of
the a little farming village called Driffield, actually, which is about 4.5 hours up from London, or in the heart of Yorkshire.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, I'm sure there's a listener out there that knows exactly where that is. I'm sure there is. It's always a small world, right?
Correct.
We really love your take on just trying to differentiate the personal training world. You know, it can so easily become mundane, and we can so easily get it caught into the trap, just doing the same thing every single day, and then wondering why either it's not working or we're not growing. So I loved your tips today. The adding value was one of my favorite of all the examples you gave. To add value was probably one of my favorite pieces today.
Brilliant. Thank you.
FBP family, I hope you enjoyed Carl as our industry expert today just as much as I did. If you'd like to learn more about Carl, or maybe just talk to him further about today's episode, please head on over to the show notes, which you can see at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. Or when you subscribe to our show notes, they are emailed directly to you. Now you can subscribe to the show notes also at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. In 30 seconds, I will introduce you to next week's special guest, Corey Sterling.
Did you know that the active ingredient in most disinfecting wipes has well-documented lung, skin, and reproductive health concerns? That active ingredient is called a quaternary ammonium compound, or a quat, not necessarily something you'd want in a health and wellness facility. VaporFresh disinfecting gym wipes avoid all quats and instead use an innovative citric acid chemistry to disinfect. Even with this greener chemistry, VaporFresh is still EPA registered to disinfect 99.9% of surfaces. VaporFresh is trusted by some of the most premier gyms and college rec centers nationwide. With 1,200 wipes per roll and 4 rolls per case, they offer an unbeatable value per wipe. Order today at vaporfresh.com or Amazon.
Quickfire 5.
Put your hands together and welcome Corey Sterling from Conscious Counsel. Corey has created an online law firm that specializes in the health and fitness community. Now let's get ready to learn a few fun facts about our upcoming special guest, Corey Sterling. Hey everybody, it is time for the Quickfire 5 questions with next week's guest, Corey Sterling. Corey is a lawyer and the founder of Conscious Counsel, which is an online law firm that specializes in the health and fitness community. Corey, it is Quickfire 5 time. Are you ready?
Dory, let's do it.
All right, let's rock this. Here we go. Question number 1. What was a life lesson you learned from the pandemic?
I learned the importance of pivoting and changing things in my life. I'm going to share a really quick story and fit it in these 5 rapid fire questions. When I found out that there was going to be a lockdown, the first thing that happened was, oh my God, all of my clients are fitness studio owners. I'm never going to get another client. Everyone's business is going to shut. And then I just had like a moment where I chose to be positive, and I was like, no, that's not what's going to happen. Everything's going to be okay. And then the moment that I had that thought, I got a message from a client who was like, hey, we need to redo it. We need a couple more trademarks. Can you start on the project now? And to me, that was a sign from the universe to be like, okay, cool. Everything's completely screwed, but everything's still going to be okay.
All right. I love it. Positive vibes. Everything's going to be all right. Question number 2. Here we go. If you could play a character in any movie, what character would it be?
Has to be Ace Ventura. It already is. A pet detective is just the highest contributing asset to society possible. And the guy just knows how to have fun. He doesn't take anything seriously, and he makes everybody laugh.
Ace Ventura, that is a first. Usually, we get Superman, one of the Avenger characters, but hey, we'll take Jim Carrey and Pet Detective. I like that. All right, here we go. I need you to complete this sentence. Sunday morning, you can find me
drinking tea, walking barefoot by the beach with my dogs.
All right, that's a good Sunday morning. I like that Sunday morning.
Take it.
All right, number 4. What is your number one book recommendation that all of our FBP family out there should read in your eyes?
The book that means a lot to me is called Ask and It Is Given. It's written by a woman named Esther Hicks. It's all about law of attraction. That book and her lessons, I listen to her every single morning for half an hour and take written notes. Law of attraction and the ability to receive the wonderful gifts that are available to you from the universe would be the most important lesson that I would want to share with the community.
Okay, good book recommendation. And finally, question number 5. Here is your chance to pitch your episode for all of our listeners out there. So give us about a 30-second elevator pitch to tell our listeners why they should come back next week for your episode.
Listeners are going to love this episode because they don't understand what they don't know about the law. They don't know how their business is at risk because of their legal agreements that they do or do not have. You're going to have the most incredible, amazing amounts of fun hearing stories from mistakes that my clients made so that you don't have to. And I'm going to make law approachable and inspire you to want to be at best practices so you can grow your community and business of your dreams. So let's do it together.
Let's do it. Now, listen, I am going to steal your tagline from your website and let everybody know that working with a lawyer just got fun. Corey's episode is going to give you the knowledge that you will need to keep your business legally up to date. So make sure you come back for legal essentials for fitness owners and managers. Now, moving forward, you can't afford to miss a single episode. So subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast player, or even better yet, let us do the work for you and we'll send you the show. Subscribe at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. Now, I was just talking to JT the other day about how proud I am to be part of an industry that has so many passionate people leading the charge and are in the trenches each and every day, just like yourselves. Each week, our industry experts deliver. I mean, they truly want to help everyone that is listening, and they want to share their success with all of us. And they're truly touchable, and they're also, they're so personable. I can't encourage our FBP family out there listening enough to take advantage of reaching out to our guests and picking their brains. Don't forget, their contact information is always at our show notes. So please reach out to our guests so that in 2022, you can elevate your business to the next level. Thank you to our founding partner, Active Management, our partners, Keep Me, MyZone, Discover Strength, Tribe Team Training, and One Fit Stop, as well as our advertisers, Rex Roundtables, MX Metrics, and Vapor Fresh. We believe what you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but woven into the lives of others.